Hey everybody, today we are going to be discussing the Pythagorean Theorem. To do the Pythagorean Theorem, you must have a right triangle. So here we have our right triangle. This angle right here is 90 degrees. We have 3 parts of our triangle. If you remember your basic triangle stuff, you have 2 legs. So we'll call the first leg side A. Then you have your second leg, which we're going to call side B. Then you have your third leg, which we are actually going to call the hypotenuse. We call it the hypotenuse because it is the longest leg of the triangle. So we have A, B, and C. Now the Pythagorean theorem says that A squared plus B squared equals C squared. So basically you're going to be using the Pythagorean theorem when you know 2 sides of a right triangle but you do not know the third. So in this case right now we know that side A is 3 spaces long. Okay? We also know that B happens to be 4 increments long. Okay, so right now the only side that we do not know the length of is side C. So if we were to take the values of A and B and substitute them into this equation that we just discussed, it would leave us with 3 squared, which is the value of A, plus 4 squared, which is the value of B, equals C squared, which is the value that we do not know. Now, if we combine like terms, these two are like terms, and we simplify them, 3 squared, which you know gives us 9, 4 squared gives us 16. So 9 plus 16 is going to give us 25. So we can now say that 25 is equal to C squared. Now, we can go about this 2 ways. Either way is very simple. You can go about it the fully mathematical way and really solve it the way it should be solved, and you can say, okay, to cancel this out, to get it to where it just tells us C equals, then we would need to take the square root of C squared in order to get rid of that squared sign. So what you do to one side, you have to do to the other. So we can say that the square root of C squared is equal to the square root of 25. And we do that to both sides, and that'll cancel out that squared sign and leave us with C is equal to the square root of 25. And we should know by now that the square root of 25 is 5. So that leaves us with C equals 5. Or we can look at this equation right here, C squared equals 25, and we can ask ourselves, okay, what number squared is equal to 25? Well, we should know that 5 squared equals 25. So the answer to this problem is C equals 5. Now, sometimes that's kind of one of the prettier versions, but sometimes we have triangles where we know the hypotenuse, but we do not know what one of the legs is. Okay, so we're going to work a problem like that as well. So here we have, again, sides A, B, and C, but this time we know one leg and we know the hypotenuse. So we're going to, again, use our equation A squared plus B squared equals C squared, and we are going to substitute in the values that we know already. So we know A equals 3, so we are going to substitute 3 in for A, and that gives us A squared plus B squared, which is the side that we do not know, equals 5 squared. C equals 5. So we have 5 squared there. Now, if we were to square those numbers, that would then leave us with a more simplified equation saying 9 plus B squared equals 25. 3 squared is 9, 5 squared is 25. So 9 plus B squared equals 25. Now, in order to get the variable on a side all by itself, where we can solve this, we need to get rid of this 9 and move it over here. Now, to do that, you have to do the opposite. So this is a positive 9, so in order to get rid of it, we have to subtract 9. So we have 9 minus 9, that gets rid of it on this side. Then we have to subtract 9 from this side as well. So if we subtract 9 from both sides, that is going to leave us with b squared equals 16. 25 minus 9 is 16. Then we, again, like we did in the last problem, in order to get rid of this squared sign to cancel it out, we are going to take the square root of both sides. So the square root of b squared is just b. The square root of 16 is 4. Therefore, if we take the square root of both sides, we can find that b equals 4. Or again, you can just look at it and say, you know what, b squared equals 16. What number squared equals 16? Well, you know what? I know that 4 squared equals 16, therefore b has to be 4. So, that is, in a nutshell, how you use the Pythagorean theorem to solve for an unknown side of a right triangle.